What's up, YouTube? It's Ben, and in this video, I'm going to give you the top 10 recruiter LinkedIn tips, tricks, hacks, whatever you want to call them, that you should definitely know about. Let's get right into it. All right, guys. So tip number one, we're going to dive right into this. I'm going to go straight to my profile and I'm going to discuss the almighty headline real estate. So this is your headline. This is what everyone comes to and sees first. This explains exactly who you are, what you do, and basically other things that you're all about, right? So everyone's going to take a look at this after they take a look at your picture, which we'll talk about in a second. But basically right here, I lay out that I'm the founder of Six Figure Recruiter, help clients build and scale six-figure recruiting agencies, contributing writer of Fast Company. That summarizes basically what I want people to know that I do right now. I'm using this real estate in a keyword-rich format, which means that I'm using keywords that are highly efficient for search. So if someone wants to find a founder, recruiter, right? If someone wants to find somebody that builds and scales agencies, they're going to see all of those keywords in there. So you on your profile need to do the same. You need to take your headline real estate, which you don't have much of, by the way, and make sure that it's not something like sorcerer or wizard or Superman of recruiting or anything ridiculous like that. Make it exactly what it should be so that the right people can find you at the right time. Don't make it something silly. Don't take this real estate for granted. It's very, very valuable. All right, so tip number two is going to be your about section, otherwise known as the bio section. That's right here in the middle, right? So essentially, the three things to remember about the bio section are: one, don't talk about yourself, talk about your company. The second thing, keep it short, simple, and concise. People do not want to read blocks of paragraphs or novels. They want things in bullet points. They want things in short form, something they can digest quickly. People have short attention spans and they will click off. I promise you of that. So if I look at Cody Parker right here, shout out to Cody Parker, awesome recruiter. And his bio is perfect. So he talks exactly to the company and not about himself personally. He does add a couple of elements about himself just to make the bio make sense, but overall the entire company is about Exact, which is his recruiting agency, and he explains it to the point, very concisely and extremely descriptive, so you know exactly what you're getting when you're going to start talking to Cody. So here's his bio, not too long, again, of course, short, concise, simple, and sweet, to the point. And that's what you need to do with your bio. If you can add in bullet points in there, do that. If you can add in anything to make it shorter, do that. But ultimately, people will click off of this if it gets boring. Remember that, and remember what the viewer is thinking when they're reading it. Remember how you think when you're reading a bio. All right, guys. So tip number three on LinkedIn for recruiters is that you can change your own URL for LinkedIn. See how mine is linkedin.com/in/Benjamin Nader. Yeah, you can change that as well. So it's not Benjamin Nader 5460938. Nobody wants that, right? So if you simply go to me right here and you go down to settings and privacy, there's going to be a lot of things you can change. One of the things we want to do is go straight to visibility. This is how everyone's going to see you on LinkedIn. So basically we want to go to edit your public profile, which is going to basically take us straight to exactly what we want to see. And this is how people will see you, right, on LinkedIn. Now, here is the edit your custom URL. I already have mine already set up, but if you wanted to change yours, all you do is click that button, go right in here and change that up to what you want it to be. I highly recommend that you make it exactly your name. Don't make it anything weird again. Don't make it weird wizard, sorcerer, or anything crazy like that. Just make it your exact name. So when someone wants to find you, they can find you and look you up just by your name if they searched it on LinkedIn. They don't have to search through 5 different pages of Ben Naders to find me because I have some weird URL. So I set my URL up as Benjamin Nader, simple enough, and that's that. All right, so tip number 4, and I don't think a lot of people know about this, but LinkedIn as a platform does not just let us connect and message with everyone that we want to, right? They cap us off at 100 connections per week, and they just don't let you message people at random, even if you want to just message them because you think they'd be a great fit to talk to. Here's the workaround: LinkedIn groups. So I'm going to go to my groups right here, which are right below all my pages and my profile. So if I go to US IT Staffing Recruiters Group, right? This is a pretty large group. It's almost 70,000 users in the group, right? So if I simply see all, which shows me every single member in this group, I can literally go down and click on anybody that I want. Software engineer at Accenture, I want to message this person. I can message them. I'm allowed to because I'm in the same group as them. If you join any group that you'd like to message people in, any niche group, right, that you're recruiting for, and if you want to find people in that group, you can directly message any of them. You don't have to be connected or any of that. So let me just show that right here. I can message, it looks like Ashish. And are we connected? We are not. So yeah, there's that. So you can message anybody if you're in a group with them. That's LinkedIn hack 4. So LinkedIn hack number 5, or tip or trick, whatever you want to take it as, right? Add more contact info. So when people visit your profile, of course, they're going to go straight to your contact information. And I don't know if you knew this or not, but you can actually go in and add multiples of different blogs, websites, profiles, or anything else that you want people to visit that you have online. For instance, check me out and follow me on Twitter, the real Ben Nader, right? I have that set up in my LinkedIn. I also have my website for my company in my LinkedIn contact info. Below, I could actually add my phone if I wanted to, my address. I wouldn't do that, but going below that, you can add instant messenger. You can add another email address, and you can even add another third website if I wanted to. Right here, I could add something else, personal or company. Like if I had, for instance, like a Tumblr or something or whatever, I could do that as well. So you can actually add 3 different URLs here that are unrelated to LinkedIn, so people can find more information about you. For instance, if you wrote articles on Medium, or if you wrote articles on Forbes.com or whatever it is, you can have people redirected to your articles, your writing at those places when they check out your contact information. So definitely want to provide as much detail as possible about who you are and what you have going on outside of LinkedIn for people that are checking out your profile. All right, so for hack number 6, we're going to go down to the skills section, right? Everybody loves and knows the skills and endorsements section, but we don't pay too much attention to it. So if I go to my skills and endorsements, did you know that if you click this edit button right here, right, you can actually pin and reorder 3 specific skills that you want to be showcased for everybody. So if you feel that you are highly proficient in business development, management, and sales, then you want those 3 pinned. But for instance, if I wanted management to be out of here and I wanted that to be unpinned, I would simply unpin it by clicking the button, right? And that would go down there. Now, if I need to refill that and put something else in there, such as sales management or something like that, I would say I'm going to pin that. And with that, that becomes my 3rd pin skill. And you can do this with all of them. Now, here's the other trick with this. You can reorder these in any order that you want. Now, the order does matter because when people view your profile, it's what they're going to see first. So if they see sales first, that's going to be your top skill. But if they see sales management first, that'll be your top skill. So if I move that up to the top, that's the top one they're going to see. Now, what comes into play here is SEO, right? Just like Google, search engine optimization is the same thing on LinkedIn's algorithm. So when they look for certain things, or if people are looking for certain things and they find you, they're going to find you because of things like this, things that you did or things that you changed on your profile to match up for what they're searching for. Tip number 7, regularly update your profile on LinkedIn. Listen, LinkedIn takes their algorithm seriously, and they also take their users seriously. And so a stagnant profile on LinkedIn is not a great profile. LinkedIn wants you to be consistently changing things, consistently doing things to your profile to optimize it, to add to it, to basically just add to the community that they've created. So what you want to do is just make sure that all of your experience is up to date. Don't make any of your old jobs, stick on there for too long. Edit the timelines, make sure that everything lines up perfectly. Change up, your current role. Make sure whenever you do something new, you add it to your profile. Make sure that maybe you change your profile picture every once in a bit, at least maybe once a year or so. Your cover photo could matter quite a bit, so change that every once in a while. Your headline, maybe even tweak just a few words here and there. But basically, LinkedIn favors an upgraded profile over a non-upgraded profile. So basically change up your LinkedIn profile early and often. So moving on to tip number 8, and this would be connections, right? This might be a really obvious tip, but at the end of the day, connections truly do matter, right? You want to have at minimum 500 connections, and that is a bare bones minimum, truly. I have about 7,600 connections, I believe. But at the end of the day, you really want to be growing your network very, very big. The max out is 30,000. So do not worry about connecting with too many people. And again, it's not like Facebook on LinkedIn, right? If you're worried about connecting with a certain person just because you've never heard their name or you don't know who they are, connect with them, find out what they're all about. If they're not somebody you want to be connected with anymore, you can always disconnect and block that person. But at the end of the day, connect with more people so that you can have more opportunity. Now, listen, LinkedIn views this in a certain way. If you're connected with more people, you're able to see more people because of the virtue of the way they do their first, second, and third degree connections. When you connect with somebody on a first degree level, you're able to see their connections, right? So it would only make sense that once you connect with more people, you have a larger network, right? Now, with that being said, the less people that you're connected to, the less people you're going to see and the less you are actually going to be seen. So it makes sense for you to just add connections. And I would say the optimal number is somewhere around 10,000, but always keep that number climbing because you can really have never too big of a network, to be honest with you. So, tip number 9 for recruiters on LinkedIn is to post original content and to engage regularly. This is really, really important for the LinkedIn algorithm. Once again, the almighty LinkedIn algorithm. So, I'm going to go straight here to my posts and I'm going to kind of run through this. So, I was featured in a Fast Company article where I gave my input on basically leadership and things like that and value. And so, of course, I posted this article. It got some traction, some likes, and all that. And then I go down. There was something that we were doing with my mentorship program, so I posted that. I posted a post about that. Again, I made a different post about that also with kind of a funny meme here, right? So looking for some engagement, and that was the original post about this. But if we go down a little bit further, I also posted a YouTube video, and I just posted the actual URL of it that I made on YouTube, but then I posted the actual video because I thought it would resonate well with people on LinkedIn. It did. It got 25 likes, 9 comments. Kind of cool. Looks like 5,000 people or so viewed the post on my feed, which is great. Posted a different YouTube video up here as well. Basically all original content, right? So a lot of videos, some shares with my own original kind of, take on what this person is saying, right? And then also sharing other things and commenting on it as well, which is super cool. Just to kind of double engage with people posting their content, but also adding your spin on it as well. Another one is just posting straight up original content about what you're doing and what's going on and things like that. This was a registration for a webinar. You can pretty much get the drift here, right? So basically posting original content, engaging with other people's content, and being just active on LinkedIn like that tells the LinkedIn algorithm that you are an active, engaging partner on their platform, and therefore they will reward you for that by showing you to more people and allowing you to see more people as well, and giving your content more of an audience. All right, so my final tip number 10 for recruiters that are on LinkedIn is to make sure that you use automation. If you're not using automation, it's kind of like living in the Stone Age while we have the internet. It's kind of ridiculous, right? So if you're doing message sequencing, if you're doing follow-ups, right? If you're trying to connect with a lot of people, if you're trying to visit profiles just so you can be seen as visiting their profile, you should be doing all of these things automatically through a robot, through automation, and not touching a keyboard to be able to do it. You should set it and forget it. I use a product that's called Aspharis. It's a Chrome extension, and it allows me to basically just do whatever I want. I can view prospects. I can set up message sequences. I can visit profiles and then, have it do everything for me. So Aspharis is the product that I use. I also use other various products such as Lead Leaper, which gets me emails, things like that. But Aspharis does most of the heavy lifting for me. So if you're not using LinkedIn automation, you definitely need to be doing that. And the last tip and trick I have for you, which is kind of tip 10.5, is that you must be using LinkedIn Sales Navigator. If you're not using LinkedIn Sales Navigator for your searches, for your main profile, I don't know what you're doing. And if you are using LinkedIn Premium or below or LinkedIn Free, you essentially really can't do pretty much anything on LinkedIn because it limits you so much. So make sure that you have LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Make sure that you have automation like Aspharis. Make sure that you have everything in place that I put into this video, because it is all going to up your game, optimize your profile, and basically help you out in the long run. All right. If you enjoyed this video, if it was valuable to you, please smash that like button, hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed already, and hit that bell notification alert so that you know every single time I come out with a brand new video. Until then.